This is the world we live in. Now let me go ahead and say this. I'm always say this to y'all because I want first off, I always say this to the Muslims. I believe Muslims to the core are peaceful people. You're no different than the Christians. You're just like any regular human being that wants to live their life in peace. You're not trying to hear somebody else's mess. If you don't have to, you go to work, you come back home, you see your family, your kids, you make dinner, you know what I'm saying? You have Ramadan, you feel me? You don't want to have to worry about any extra garbage. And I know this, and I know this too because I'm a regular human being that wants to live and coexist with everybody else. If you can't coexist with anybody else, then you have to go, because then you're going to be an issue and an inconvenience for everybody else. And if that's the case, like I said before, y'all can pack up and leave. The individuals. If you don't pack up or leave and you still want to cause issues, then we're going to deal with you on individual levels. That's not hard to do, trust me. Even if you want to hide behind the mask. Oh, trust me, I know how deep Islam gets. A man in the Quran could lie. He could lie in the pursuit of Islam to help the cause of Islam. And at the end of the day, it's not nothing crazy. Anybody could do that. I could be like, I'm a Christian. You wouldn't know who I was unless I told you that. So that's not like a special thing. You feel me? Anybody could do that. Anybody could lie and say, yeah, I'm this, but then they're really something else. Bro, we see this all the time. You feel me? The government does this shit when they infiltrate into other foreign countries. You see what I'm saying? So it's not, I understand they had this little code of conduct or whatever, but like I said, it's not a code of conduct. That's not that you know what I'm saying, that nobody doesn't know. We already know this. Mankind already knows this shit. We already know this type of thinking. Trust me, this shit is not like some secret code game that can't be, deconstructed. This shit happens all the time. The fuck? You really think the niggas on the block that use code and slang, you think the police don't know these words already? Oh, hey, bro, I got that white powder. Bro, police already know what that is. They already arrested people that gave away all the fucking, codes. You see what I'm saying? So this shit is decoded all the time. So I think it's a fail once again. There, because if you're gonna fake it, you're just gonna fake it. But at the end of the day, we still know people can still find out what you're really about. So you can't hide it. This is why I always say the light comes to the dark, and however way it needs to. Because even if you do lie in the pursuit of Islam, someone's still gonna figure out that, oh yeah, obviously he's a Muslim. Look at what he's doing. People know how this shit works, so it's not like you can hide it. And like I said, for the Western and for the Western countries, we over here, like I said, we don't want to have to deal with that extra nonsense. We don't want to have to worry about terrorism, all that other fucking shit. Look what's happening in Europe right now. Europe is about to get fucked because, for one, their government is just shitty. They have a crappy ass government. Europe is about to get fucked over. There's some other countries out there too But Europe right now is on the brink. It's on the edge. You feel me? They're gonna be the first ones getting the terrorist attacks. They're gonna be the first ones. But that won't happen until Israel is fully destroyed under a new occupation, which is what? Hamas, the Arab people. And Israel itself, like I always say, Israel has its own state. And this is what I always throw this. I'm gonna throw this in here too. Why didn't Palestine accept their own state, just like when Israel did at the time? Palestine could have had their own state, could have had their own government. They had their own government, but now the issue is they have a governing body, a mentality of people that want to kill Jewish civilians. And then on top of that, we also have people here in America that also support this idea. They're saying, first off, because this is what this tells me. Okay, when I see these pro-Palestine protests happening down in UCLA and Washington D.C., these aren't just regular protests. This isn't like a Black Lives Matter protest or something. And Black Lives Matter doesn't even go this far, like how the pro-Palestine movement is. Okay, but let me go ahead and say this right now. I always say there's good and there's bad people, so we could differentiate who the troublemakers are, so that we could find out who these motherfuckers are. There's troublemakers out here that want to cause trouble. They don't want to actually help Palestine. They could give two fucks about Palestine's state. They don't care about the people. At least Israel cares about the Palestinian people in some type of way. Israel has its own governing body. Israel has all the technology, all that. Bro, it's an advanced country. And that's because Israel participated in government. It said, yo, look, we want to participate. We don't want to just be over here existing. We want to be a democratic society, a free society, just like everybody else over there in the Western countries. That's what it tells me. So Israel was the only person in the Middle East that had the common sense that said, yo, okay, look, we don't want to be over here just existing. We want to be our own state. Okay? Palestine cannot just be a country only for the Arabs. It cannot be. You see what I'm saying? Bro, you know what's so funny? Because Israel itself can literally, it allows the Arab people to come down to the city, to the holy site, and pray along with the Christians and the Jews and everybody else. But if we reverse it and we let the Arabs take control of Israel, the Jewish people ain't going to be able to pray in their holy site, or the Christians. I don't think they're going to let anybody of any other religion come over into Jerusalem and pray. I don't think it's going to happen. It could, but I highly doubt that would happen. The facts are already presented. So I say this every single time. You know, people have to figure out and actually be like, yo, okay, hold on. Let us backtrack and go and rewind history. I'm seeing neo-Nazis. That's the crazy part too. With these whole pro-Palestine movements, I'm seeing people scribble up neo-Nazi signs and shit. And we obviously know where that comes from. So let's not play stupid here. If Muslims or Arabs have a excuse to that behavior, please speak up. Because if Arabs support Nazism or whatever the fuck you want to call it, then that's an issue. That's a huge issue. And you can't exist with us. You can't be with people like us over here, yo. Now, obviously, I know Muslims, for the most part, are peaceful people. And I would obviously say they don't support Nazism. It's wrong. The killing of people is wrong. The killing of innocent people is wrong. That's a fact. You can't tell me it's not. A murderer could go out here and kill people. Have no actual real reason why he could just go out. He could just go outside right now and start shooting up people for no reason. He don't have to have a reason to do it. And we would say that's evil behavior. We would call that evil behavior. Desensitized. You see what I'm saying? It's not acceptable. And we can't allow that behavior to persist. It must cease. Nazism must cease. You can support it if you want to. We don't give a shit. But we're not going to let you, destroy the only country we have. America is not turning to no fucking communism. America ain't turning to nothing else. It's not doing that. If you want communism, take your ass to Russia, yo. Or take your ass to fucking China, yo. Yeah, I know we have enemies of the state. I know who these are. I know who these people are. The enemies of the state. I'm going to always say that. Because that gives mankind the senses like, yo, the wake-up call. The enemies of the state. If you know the enemies of the state, it's an enemy that goes against the state, the country, the governing body, the ideals of the country. They don't want that. They could care less about it. They don't care about freedom. They don't care about none of that shit. If anything, they want to get rid of it. Trust me. If y'all really think that there aren't people out here that want to get raided, that want to take away the way of how we live, I'm telling y'all, bro, that's a dumb way to think. Because that's like, for example, do y'all think the KKK do you really think the KKK is gone, for example? These motherfuckers still exist. It's not like how it was back then, like 50 years ago, 70 years ago. It's not like that no more. But there's still people out there that support it. It's still a real thing. Nazism too. People who support Nazis and shit. That shit still exists. These people don't just go away. They still exist here in America. It's just not how it was, like how it was 50 years ago. Obviously, we surpassed that point. We made it up to a point where now it's like, yo, everybody could live their life. We got TV, we got games, entertainment. We could chill the fuck out. People got families, kids. For the most part, people don't have time to be fighting and doing that type of shit. If you have time for that, I mean, like I said, you have to get dealt with on a different accord. Because ain't no way a man just got time on his hands like that to be prepping up for an ultimate, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, crash outs are going to be crash outs. So whatever the fuck they're going to do, they're going to do it. But at the end of the day, evil will never truly succeed. And I believe that to the core. That's why I really believe, that's why I truly believe, even if Israel collapses, that would have only been an attempt to destroy the state. That's like people who say destroy Israel, or people who advocate for Israel's legitimization.